So is going back into the military after you've been out for a while, for years, even a decade, common? The answer to that is yes. Honestly, it's usually men, and it's usually those who fail to adapt to the civilian world. So, by the way, when you come into the military, they put you through the cult process of identity breaking indoctrination, right? We're going to break you down to build you back up. We are going to take you from being a normal human who would automatically run away from pew pews firing to one that will run toward them, right? The military is very open about this. And if they can't break you, they kick you out on something called failure to adapt. Okay. This also happens when people cannot adapt back to the civilian world. And unfortunately, I buried a little brother a year and a half ago that I feel who really, really struggled to adapt back to the civilian world. So we do see men going back in. I had a lieutenant who was an enlisted soldier who got out for 5, 6 years and then went back in as an officer and ended up working for me. And usually when they come back in, they are lifers. Now, I don't really know anything about Dakota Meyer and about his politics, right? But there was a man named Craig Morgan who I believe was already in the National Guard or the Reserves, got out, had this country music career. He's the one that writes What I Love About Sunday and a couple other well-known country songs. Mr. Knitting Coat Lady has flown him on a flight and has a hat signed by him. He lost a son, like lost a 19-year-old son in a river accident. And then a few years later, he was signing up at the age of almost 60 to go back into the reserves. And I was like, okay, I think I understand that, right? It's interesting with Dakota Meyer, right? As someone who is well known, as someone who holds a Medal of Honor, I would think that as a veteran, you could do more. Going back in, as a military, you for the most part have to obey the corrupt commander-in-chief and traitor who's at the top. So, I don't know what reasoning he is given for going back in now, but much like a lot of people enlisted after 9/11 because they felt like they wanted to do something for their country. Maybe some of that is going around right now too. I do believe that as veterans, we are the same people who swore to defend against both enemies, both foreign and domestic, but we have a lot more freedom to talk and to do some of that defense from the outside. I am, as ever, Daniella, scholar of cults, extreme groups, and extremely bad leadership. I wrote a book called Uncultured about growing up in the Children of God religious cult and then going into the cult of the U.S. Army, where I was an Army captain, made history for women, and wrote this best-selling book about it. You can get signed copies attached here.